People mock what they don't understand. Remember that. Because if your vision is big enough, most people won't understand it at first. They'll laugh, they'll doubt, they'll tell you to be realistic. Not because your dream is impossible, because your dream makes them uncomfortable. You see something they can't see, a future they can't imagine, a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. And that scares people. I've learned something about the world. The same people who laugh at your vision today are often the same people who admire it later. But by then, it won't matter. Because this journey was never about convincing them. It was about believing yourself. Maybe you felt it. That loneliness. That feeling of being the only one who understands where you're trying to go. Everyone sees where you are. Nobody sees where you're headed. And that's why most people quit. Not because they lack talent, because they get tired of carrying a vision nobody else believes in. But listen carefully. Every extraordinary dream begins the same way. One person sees it, everyone else doubts it. So before you give up on your vision, ask yourself this: if everyone suddenly believed in your dream tomorrow, would you still have the courage to believe in it today? Because that's where greatness begins. Not when the world understands. When you keep going, even when it doesn't. Having a vision sounds inspiring. Until you realize how lonely it is. Because the moment you choose a different path, you separate yourself from the crowd. People stop understanding you. Friends question you. Family worries about you. Strangers judge you. And suddenly, the dream that once excited you starts feeling heavy. I've seen people abandon their vision because of this. Not because they stopped believing. Because they got tired of being alone. Tired of explaining. Tired of defending themselves. Tired of hearing, "Be realistic. Get serious. Maybe it's time to give up." Those words hurt. Especially when they come from people you care about. You start questioning yourself. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe this dream is too big. That's how self-doubt enters. Not like a storm, like a whisper. Quiet, persistent, dangerous. And if you're not careful, you'll begin seeing your dream through other people's eyes. That's when the vision starts to fade. Not because it became impossible, because you stopped trusting yourself. Then comes failure, the kind nobody sees. Months of effort with no results. Sacrifices nobody notices. Progress so small, it feels invisible. You keep working, keep believing, keep showing up. And still, nothing changes. That's where most people break. Not when life becomes impossible, when it becomes uncertain. Because uncertainty is painful. You don't know if the sacrifice is worth it. You don't know if the dream will happen. You don't know if you're moving in the right direction. All you know is that you're alone, and the finish line is nowhere in sight. That's the struggle. Carrying a vision nobody understands. Fighting for a future nobody can see. Believing in something before there's any evidence to believe. And some days, that feels heavier than any failure. But every person who ever changed their life had to carry that weight first. The world has a strange habit. It laughs first, then it watches, then it copies. That's the pattern. Most people don't reject your vision because it's wrong. They reject it because it's unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things make people uncomfortable. Think about it. If your dream looked normal, everyone would understand it. If your path looked safe, everyone would support it. If your future looked obvious, nobody would question it. But then it wouldn't be a vision. It would be a routine. That's the dark lesson. People only celebrate certainty. But every meaningful dream begins as uncertainty. Every breakthrough begins as an idea nobody believes. Every transformation begins before there's proof. That's why vision requires courage. Not the courage to fight the world, the courage to keep believing when the world doesn't. Because here's the truth. Most people need evidence before belief. Visionaries need belief before evidence. That's the difference. The crowd looks at reality and says, "I'll believe it when I see it." The dreamer says, "I'll see it because I believe it." And that gap is where most people give up. They want guarantees. But life doesn't offer guarantees. They want certainty. But growth lives in uncertainty. They want validation. But greatness is often misunderstood. That's why loneliness becomes part of the journey. Not as a punishment, as a test of whether your conviction is stronger than other people's opinions. A test of whether your purpose is stronger than your fear. A test of whether your vision belongs to you or belongs to the approval of others. Because if you quit the moment people doubt you, then their belief was carrying your dream, not yours. Real vision survives mockery. Real vision survives failure. Real vision survives delay. Because real vision isn't built on results. It's built on conviction. And conviction is what keeps you walking. Long before the world understands where you're going. So what do you do when nobody understands your vision? You stop trying to convince them. That's the shift. Most people waste years explaining themselves, defending their dream, arguing with doubters, seeking validation from people who were never meant to understand. Don't do that. Protect your energy. Protect your focus. Protect your vision. Because your job isn't to make everyone believe. Your job is to keep moving. I learned that the strongest belief isn't loud. It's quiet. It wakes up early. It works in silence. It keeps going when there are no results. It keeps going when nobody notices. It keeps going when failure says, "Stop." That's what conviction looks like. The moment I stopped looking for approval, I started looking for progress. The moment I stopped proving people wrong, I started proving myself right. And everything changed. Because success doesn't come from convincing the crowd. It comes from staying loyal to your mission long enough for results to appear. So stop measuring your dream by today's circumstances. Stop measuring your future by today's struggles. Stop measuring your potential by other people's expectations. The person you're becoming is bigger than the version of you that exists right now. Trust that, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because every great story looks crazy in the beginning. Every great journey looks impossible at the start. And every great dream is misunderstood before it's admired. That's why you must keep your vision. Not because it's easy, because it's yours. And nobody can see it as clearly as you can. Here's my challenge for you. For the next 30 days, stop explaining your dream. Stop seeking permission. Stop asking whether people believe in you. Instead, show up. Do the work. Stay disciplined. Keep learning. Keep building. Keep moving. Let your actions speak. Let your consistency speak. Let your results speak. Because one day, the same people who questioned your vision will ask how you did it. And by then, you won't need their approval. You'll have your proof. Remember this. The world doesn't need to understand your vision today. It only needs to see what happens if you refuse to quit. So keep going, keep building, keep believing. And let the future explain what the present cannot. don't lower your vision to match the world. Raise yourself until the world finally sees what you saw all along.